all about pets. We're all about fun. We have the nicest people. Our deals are number one. You'll love Dave's, Minnesota and Pet City. We make shopping for your pet fun, 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 fun.
We're filming. Well, hello everybody, and
Hello.
Let's see. Today, welcome to Dave's Pet Show. I must say, and before I say anything, this is very important. So you know, Thanksgiving is coming up, and my buddies Baxter and O'Brien do the Mayflower Marathon every year.
Yep.
So this year, we have arranged our Hadley store to be a drop-off for all your food, because a lot of people don't want to go from Northampton or Hadley down to Basketball Hall of Fame. So we will be collecting food for the Mayflower Marathon at our Hadley store, which I think is very cool.
Great cause too.
Yeah, it's a great cause. So, and they're my buds, and they do a huge job. They get, you know, trailer loads of food. So you can bring it if you don't want to drive all the way down the Basketball Hall of Fame. You can drop it off at our Hadley store on Route 9 next to Whole Foods. So that being said, we have a stupendous show this morning. I
Amazing.
think today's show is going to be much better than last year's.
It's going to be the beta-est of them all.
Yes. Okay, what are we
Ready.
going to talk about?
Betas.
Oh,
Betas.
what do we have?
All right. We have the quintessential.
Let me be the holder.
You be the holder. I'll be the
Yes,
talker
sir.
here. We're going to start with beta. These are, a lot of people have had these. A lot of people love them. They're simple to keep, but they come in all different shapes and sizes.
Yep.
Let's get a little bit on the background. The beta
Okay.
is a Siamese fighting fish. It's actually in the gourami family.
Yep.
And they are a fish that can breathe air from the surface. How they do that? They have a little organ behind their gills called a labyrinth, and they can actually gulp air through their mouth, pushes it through that labyrinth, absorbs the oxygen, and then pushes everything else through the gills. So it is able to live in very still, stagnant, or not moving water. So it's a great little fish. You
Some
can keep
people
above.
have come in and yelled at us for this.
Right,
So
right.
I want to get this clear right away. Why are they in such small containers?
Okay, well, they live where they come from, where they're naturally found. They're found in very still, shallow puddles of water, usually along the edges of river or even in rice paddies,
Yep.
where you get a lot of marshy area. They don't like a lot of current. If you look at the shape of their fins, they actually have really long flowing fins. In heavy current, that can actually tear their fins apart. A lot of times if you put them in a big tank, they'll huddle up in the corner where there's the least amount of current. They don't like current, they like the still water. Also, they build bubble nests. The males build bubble nests, which we'll get into in a bit. And if there's heavy current, they're not going to be able to build one.
So they're perfectly happy. They don't swim around.
They're not a very fast-moving fish. They're pretty
Yeah.
stationary. Like I said, in the wild, they'll pretty much stay put. Excuse me. Doesn't mean that they don't need clean water. So it is important every couple of days to give them fresh, clear water. You can keep them in a small aquarium, if you have a filter in there, as long as it's not, the current is not too abrupt, and the tank, of course, is not that big. They're used to living in shallow water. If they're in a really deep water, like I said, they'll huddle because they feel vulnerable that something's going to come up from the bottom.
Is this size bowl okay for them to live their life?
That's fine. That's fine. That is fine. That is absolutely fine.
So I notice now that we have different kinds of bettas.
We do. We do.
Why don't you explain those to us, Matt?
Okay, well, we'll start at the very end here.
Yes.
This is the common betta. All of these, this is all done through genetics, crossbreeding, just like goldfish.
Just like
me. Yeah, exactly. We're going to start the common betta in the wild. We don't have any of those. They're a little bit less colorful than this. The males usually have a little bit more color. Males will fight each other, of course. You don't.
Which is why they call them.
They're fighting fish. You keep the males separate.
Yeah.
This is the common betta right here. He's very pretty. As you can see, he's got, longer fins, nice color.
Yeah.
But through crossbreeding, you start getting some really unusual genetic traits. This here is a crown tail.
Yep.
And if
Just
you
leave
can
him.
see,
You don't
we'll
need
leave
to-
him. You can
Yep.
take a look there. If you look at his fins, they have that kind of jagged look to them, almost like the crown on a king or a queen's.
Looks like they're shredded, but
Yeah,
that's
kind
the
of
way.
look, but that's the way they are. They're
Yep.
actually not shredded. If you look, it's all fins all around.
Yeah.
Are actually crowned like that. So it's kind of neat when they spread their fins. If you hold a mirror up to the tank, they'll spread their fins. It almost looks like a big pine cone.
And the reason that they're spreading their...
Make them look bigger.
Right.
Same reason why a cat hisses when they arch up like that. They're making themselves look bigger and more intimidating.
Yeah.
Same thing with the bearded dragon. It's a threat display.
Yep.
A lot of times they'll do it also on the flip side. The males will court a female like that. They want to make themselves
As is
look
with
attractive.
many animals in nature.
Right. Exactly. This next one right here is called a dragon scale. If you look at the patterns of the scales, almost like a checkerboard.
Yeah.
And if you look at the fins on the front, it has a big, broad pectoral fins right behind behind the gills. See how bright they really stand out? So it almost looks
This is
like
pectorals?
Pectorals, yep, pectoral fins. See?
There's got to be some jokes in there somewhere.
We could throw something out. You're good at that.
Okay.
But
Yep.
that is your dragon scale. Now look at this one. Look at this one. This one's gorgeous. That is a half moon right there. You can see the sheer size of those fins. Look how big that. When he spreads
So
all
he's
those
about
fins,
3 or 4 times bigger
he's a
than
bigger
the
one. The half moons are usually quite a bit larger. They those are the ones that get up to about 5
Speaking
inches.
of the large pecs, do they put them on steroids?
They actually, not really steroids, but they're feeding them a lot of really good high quality food. And in addition, through crossbreeding, you have some that come out bigger.
Yep.
They keep using the bigger
keep
males
using the
and
bigger
females.
ones.
Right, and they start getting that larger size. If you look, they're usually
So
gulping air.
these are also, all kidding aside, there's competition. These, right? Better competition.
There are, yep, just like goldfish, just like
Yep.
guppies. A lot of these, they come out with the most extravagant colors,
Yep.
patterning, shape, just like anything, like any dog show. There's actually different standards that they
Yep.
all have to have.
Yep.
But this half moon right here, when he arches his fins or spreads his fins, they all actually join, so he looks like a half moon.
Oh,
So it's actually a very, very, very cool
Right.
fish.
And really the only time they would do that if there's another male around. Or
Another
if they're
mammal or a
threatened.
female. A lot of times
Yeah.
if you put a
Right.
mirror up on the bowl, up against
Yeah.
the environment, they'll actually...
So if you put a female in there, would they breed? I mean, there's a regular...
Well, you do want to set, if you stuck a female in there with him, he's going to try and mate her to death, and he'll probably end up killing her.
Oh.
So the proper way to breed would be taking like a 20-gallon long aquarium,
Yeah.
filling it up maybe about 4 inches,
Yeah.
and loading it up with a lot of plants and a very slow aeration, slow bubble
Yeah.
water, and keep the water very warm, a submersible heater.
Yep.
Put 3 or 4 females in there with him.
Yeah.
And what will happen is the male will actually build a big bubble nest. A lot of people call us thinking there's something wrong with their betta because they see all these mounds of bubbles on there.
Yeah.
That's the male building his nest. Because what happens when he's ready to breed and he's got a mature female in there, he'll chase the female into the nest, wrap around her, squeeze the eggs out of her, and then chase her away. And then he guards the nest. He takes care of all the babies.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So they are, if you can set them up and you can breed them at home,
Yep.
you just have to do a little bit of a setup.
And do they, they're not like guppies and stuff, they don't eat the babies? And
Nope, you take the female out. Once the female is done, she's done, he'll chase her away. So I would pull the females out just so he doesn't kill them because he gets very protective of his young. He's going to guard that nest. He'll sit
So
there
this
and
is like complete opposite of
complete
nature.
opposite.
Yeah.
He actually is going to be the guardian right there. And he rears them until they're swimming and they're able to run on
Yeah.
their own. Okay, and
They're in
there's
big
another
trouble if they can't swim.
No, they need to learn how to swim.
Figure that out
Yep.
all by myself.
All right.
And when they're babies, do they have little water beds and stuff in it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Little cribs all over the
Yeah.
place.
Yep. Okay.
We have another half moon. This is a slightly smaller half moon. If you can look, you can see really well you can see nicely the big fins on him.
Yeah.
And like I say, you see the colorations. They really stand out on some of these more.
So we
Fancier ones?
can't get these all the time, right?
They can, yeah, they are. See, they come and go.
sporadic.
They are sporadic because, like I said, it takes a bit more to breed these guys.
Yeah.
And they are a little more pricey, but like I said, they are just as hardy as the other more common bettas. And it's a great fish that you can just look at.
You know, we have them resting on a couple of these little kits. We have these betta kits. So this is really all you need, right?
Yeah, just like I said, a little thing. A lot of these kits right here come
Yeah.
with food, water conditioner, a little bit of decor. That's all you need. Of course, you can piece together and build up a tank as long as it's not too ginormously big. But
So one betta in a 10-gallon tank looks stupid.
like I said, if you can keep them, that's important. If you can keep them with other fish, but just make sure that
Well,
nothing is going to
right.
nip and tear at their
You
fins.
can't have a nipper.
Right, you have to put them with real passive, peaceful fish. Some fancy guppies are fine. Even some Cory catfish or even dwarf frogs work great with them. So any small non-disturbing animal.
Yep.
Fish or wild or aquatic
So
animal. Will be fine with them.
so we're going to run a little bit longer on this one. So I like these because they're great for little kids. They're
yeah.
great for your desk.
Great for
They're-
that dorms, college dorms.
Yeah, and
Christmas
they're great
gifts.
for a college dorm because they won't steal your beer.
Right.
You know, they're quiet. They don't play loud music. They're, you know, they're
They'll help you pass. They'll help you study.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't know about that.
know.
But anyway, so one of the this is the biggest problem we have with people who buy bettas. They overfeed them.
The stomach is the size of their eye, so every couple of days, 2 or 3 pieces of food. That's all you need.
And the food is
Tiny little
so when
pellets.
you buy a little jar of food, little container of food that's this big, that'll last you about 20 years
Yeah,
or so,
you have
right?
to look at the size of the fish and then the
Yeah.
amount of food. If you put 30 pellets in there, it's like eating 30 steaks. Some of
Right.
us can do it, but they can't.
Right. And then what happens is the food floats to the bottom, it decays, and then the water starts
Getting bad, and that's
getting
just not
bad.
good for them.
Yep. So, okay, you better come back, folks, right after this break. We are ready. So this segment is for the birds, folks. So one of my most favorite things is feeding the birds.
Yep.
And I have 2 bird feeders at my house. I have a thistle feeder, and I have our favorite, which we'll talk about, is the absolute feeder,
Yeah.
which really does work.
Yes, it does. Keeps the squirrels
It
out.
keeps the squirrels away. So I thought it would be nice to talk about feeding birds and the different types of seed that attract different types of birds. And I have to start by, can you get a picture of this? What?
We have a special feeder for those also.
Why do they're bugs?
They're dead bugs.
They're dead bugs.
Yep. But they're very high protein
Yes.
for birds.
Yes.
Easily digestible.
Yes.
Mealworms,
Yes.
and
And
you can eat them also, but I won't.
you can.
You can. Yep, you can. They're high in protein. So if you get stranded somewhere and you need a little quick bite,
I've
that'll
actually
do.
seen these on those TV shows
Yeah.
where the guys.
Yeah.
So I've seen these at the shows, and they're it's all the rage.
Yep.
So would you mix this in with your regular bird food, or would you?
You
'cause
can.
you could go broke.
Yeah, they're on the pricey side.
You think?
Yep, but
$720. Oh no, $7.99. $7.99.
Close.
Close.
But they're such a high protein source for the birds
Yeah.
that it's really worth it, and you don't need a lot of them. There's certain birds that like those particularly, but you can mix them in with other bird seed.
So we should have brought the feeder.
I can
out
go
here.
grab one.
Yeah,
Okay, hold on.
we grab it. So this is really cool. You know, the bird feeding business, it's sort of like the pet food business. There's all different qualities of bird food, just like there's all different qualities of pet food. So some of the grocery store and the less expensive brands, they're all filled with stuff that the birds really don't want to eat. Squirrels like it, but the birds don't like to eat it. So you end up spending more because the birds actually eat less. So
So this is a special feeder for mealworms, and it attracts this particular birds that like those particularly, which would be the bluebirds.
Yeah.
You can also use
is that why
for,
this is blue?
Yes. So you don't forget. I
Right.
brought the blue one.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know how you are. Anyway, so yes, you can also use this for Oreos, for pieces of fruit,
For
feeding them also, because they're
for cookies.
No, not
Not
Oreos. Oreos.
Oh, like the
orange.
baseball team.
Yes, like on their shirts.
Shirts.
On their shirts.
Got it.
But they particularly like this. There's also a natural one, which is like a little nest.
Yes.
I mean, we can open that if you want, which you can hang on the trees and fill with the mealworms,
Yep.
which again attracts the particular birds. Though that will also attract like the little
Bluebirds.
chickadees and bluebirds,
So actually,
chickadees.
they are better for smaller birds.
Yes, they're better for
So
smaller
here's
birds.
my only question. A couple questions when you put this kind of feeder out.
Yep.
It rains,
Yep.
and then do you have a little?
We have rain guards.
Of course, we have a rain guard.
Rain guards that can go over them. There's different sizes.
Right.
Different baffles. You can also get little feeders particularly for the mealworms or for bird feed that come with the dome
Right.
on them to protect
So
it from
is
the
this
weather.
is this good to put on your porch, because the smaller birds like these too, right?
Yes, they'll come. It may take them a little bit of time to find it.
Find it. You got to put signs up.
Yes, and directions, because otherwise they
Right.
don't know where to go.
Right.
But once they find it, they'll keep coming, and you got to keep feeding them once you
How
once
long
you
will
put out the
these
fern.
stay in there without getting disgusting?
Well, it depends on where you have them. If you put them like on your deck under an overhang or something,
Yeah,
they're going to
they're fine.
last a little longer.
Yeah.
And you're not going to put that many in there, and the birds really don't eat that many. So every few days, if you check it and just watch the weather, and if it looks like it's going to be a horrendous storm, just bring it in.
Bring it in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now back to like regular birds.
Yep.
So my favorite food in the whole wide world, if you're having a mixed bag of food, is the Lyric Supreme.
Yep.
It's more expensive than most blends, but here's why. It is what's called triple sifted. So they get the seeds, they sift it, and they get all the breakage out and the
The
twigs,
hulls
the
and the
hulls.
twigs and
They
the-
do
yeah.
that 3 times. So when you get a bag of Lyric Supreme, here's the test. You open this up, you pour it into, there's no dust.
Right. It's all
Period.
whole
End of story.
pieces.
It's all whole pieces. You take the less expensive bag of food that you buy. I don't care where you buy it. You pour that into a bucket. It's like
You get a facial.
you'll get right. Exactly. So the Lyric Supreme, and all the birds love that.
Right. It appeals to a wide variety.
Yep. So I happen to like. I don't even use this because I like seedless. Mm-hmm. So one of the we have a couple of different blends. I happen to use sunflower. Did we bring
Kernels.
the sunflower kernels, which some poor guy, I think he gets paid really well, sits in
By
a
the
little
piece.
back room, and he
Cleans each
shells
one.
he cleans each one of the sunflowers. Here's why I like sunflowers. I get cardinals,
Yeah.
I get finches, I get almost everybody comes to this
And the
feeder.
thing with these too is that it's a little on the pricier side, but you're not having any waste.
No
The birds
waste.
eat every single thing.
No waste.
And
Right.
the squirrels and stuff really, if they might get to it, but the birds are going to eat it first.
Right.
Because
So
it's
when I
easily
use my
accessible for them.
absolute feeder, which we'll show you in a minute, so there's no. So here's the other problem with using sunflowers, and we sell tons of sunflower
Right.
seed, but then the shells get on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like a calling card for the
Squirrel,
squirrels.
yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden you start getting sunflower seeds growing, and right.
Right, because if
Looks
they
like
if,
Nebraska in your backyard. So these are much
right, you don't
much
have
better.
that problem. There's not
Right.
that much of a mess under the feeder.
And then what I like, and if you come into our stores, we have these little signs.
Informational
Informational things that'll tell you what kind of birds are attracted to what kind of seeds.
And also what kind of feeder to use.
Yes.
Because there's different kinds of
Yes.
feeders for different kinds
I'm
of feed.
glad you brought that up, Christine.
You're welcome, sir.
So my favorite feeders in the whole world are the Droll Yankees.
Yep.
And the reason that I like the Droll Yankees, not my favorite tube feeder.
Right.
Because you need a tube feeder and you need a platform feeder. Why, you ask?
Different birds,
Right.
different seed.
So cardinals, blue jays, woodpeckers, they need a perch
A platform.
platform to stand on. The smaller birds, the finches and stuff, can stand just on these things. And why I like the Droll Yankee is they're made with a very, very hard plastic, but here's the big deal. If they should crack, you just bring it back and we give you a new one.
They're also guaranteed by Droll Yankee for
Right.
life.
Right, for life.
Yep.
So,
and you can just contact them and they'll replace it, give you a new one.
Yeah.
Anything.
But I mean, they just
yeah, we do
we
it
do it here.
Yep.
You bring it back and we give you a new one. To me, that's just, I love that. So there's different kinds, and see, this is a big opening, so you can put sunflower hearts. You can put anything in here.
Pieces of seeds, not a
Pieces
little
of
one.
seeds, right? The birds can get at it. However, let's
like
get
that
the
one over there. That one. That's a finch
Where is
feeder
it?
that you just put
This
your
one.
hand on. Yep.
here.
You look at the
ta-
mesh
Right.
on that. That would be for a very
Right, so see
fine
the very,
seed.
very fine mesh. So this is for thistle.
Thistle.
Here's who, all right, we're going to run a little long on this one. So the thistle feeder is uses Niger or thistle seed. Here's the deal with thistle seed. Small birds like it. Here's the best part. Squirrels don't. So if you ever want a feeder to put on your porch or close to your house and you don't want to be bothered with the squirrels, you get a thistle feeder and you'll get the finches.
The finches, the house finches, yellow finches.
Yeah, all
American finches.
Yep, all kinds
Purple
of
finches.
Even Peter Finch might stop.
Might
no,
stop
wait,
by.
I think he's not alive anymore. And we also have.
That's a Niger seed one also.
This is a thistle feed.
Yep.
See how small the opening is there? Right?
That's also adapted to the beak of the bird. The
Right.
way the way it's shaped, it's tiny and thin, and it can reach right in there and grab the seeds.
Right. Here's another reason why I like thistle feeders. When it rains, the opening's so small.
Nothing gets in there.
Yeah, the rain
Yep.
doesn't get in there. So anyway, if you're buying a feeder, you want to buy a Droll Yankee, except for
Ding, ding, ding.
my favorite, which is the Absolute Feeder. They are squirrel-proof, folks. So what happens is a squirrel gets on the bar, and it just
have a little
closes.
one.
Do we have a little one that,
Yes.
that we can show? If you're going to get a platform feeder, this is the only
This
one
is
to
the
get.
kind.
Right.
It's
So this
got
is just a
It's
smaller
got a
version.
little. When the weight of the squirrel, it covers the hole
Yep.
so they can't eat the food.
So you can put it on a pole, you can hang it from a tree,
Yep.
you can do it either way.
And this is a mini one.
Yep, and you can put any kind of seed in here. I've had mine. I don't even know how many years.
Long time.
Yeah.
They last forever.
They just last forever.
Yep.
So anyway, and you know what? It's great for. It's just great to feed the birds. They have proof, right? Blood pressure,
Right. Any kind of animals.
any kind. Right.
Yep.
Feeding the birds.
Yeah,
So
it's
anyway.
relaxing and it's
Yep.
good for them. It's good for the environment, and
So-
you should do it.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Guinea Pig World. Laurie stayed overnight in the female side. I stayed in the male side last night. So these are my favorite. These are the best.
They are. They are the best. These are little girls. They're about 3 months old. We got them in very young this time.
Yep.
Very sweet. I recommend them to everybody.
Guinea pigs.
Yep. They're very snuggly. They make
Yep.
great pets. They're not
Yep.
nippy,
Yep.
and they're
They
great.
have great hair.
And yes,
sort of
they do.
reminds me of mine.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They're very sweet. They'll sit with you. They'll snuggle with you.
Yep.
They're great.
And you know what? In all my years doing this, I've never heard of a mean-tempered guinea pig.
I have never. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
So, how long do they live?
They will live maybe 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Give them a good diet, give them a good home, keep
Yeah.
their cage clean. They'll live.
So let's talk about the diet, because that's obviously the most important part. And I
Yes.
noticed that we have veggies
Yes,
in the diet.
we have.
here.
We give them romaine lettuce and carrots every morning.
Yeah.
They love them.
Yeah.
You can give them all kind. You can give them all kinds of. You can give them an orange.
Yeah.
They need vitamin C.
They need vitamin C.
Yes.
So one of the
Yes.
difference between rabbit food and guinea pig food is guinea pig food,
has more vitamin C in it.
right?
for
Because
'em.
they can't
Yep.
produce it themselves, right?
Yep. Apples. Our guinea pigs love apples. We
Yep.
bring in apples for them.
Yep. And we use the Oxbow.
Oxbow. Yes, we do.
Right.
It's the best.
So Oxbow is a brand of hay,
Yep.
food. They have treats.
Yep.
They have everything
Yep.
for. And so I know the owners of the company. We've had their veterinarian on the show with us. They are truly a company that is dedicated to the health of the animal.
Yes.
And so we just love the Oxbow people. So tell me about the care. If someone's thinking about, a Christmas pet, you don't want to get it, because by the time this is on, we're getting pretty
Yep.
close to
Yep.
Christmas.
Yep.
And some people can't do a dog or a cat,
Yep.
so guinea pig's a great alternative.
They are a great alternative. You have to have a good sized cage for them.
Yeah.
I always recommend the biggest, because these little guys,
they're
these
like
little
mine.
girls, yep, and they will double in size.
Yeah.
They will get good size. Clean them, spot clean them every day.
So what does that mean?
what we do is we take a little scoop and we scoop out the waste.
Yep.
Thoroughly clean it. I say twice a week.
Yep.
Which means empty everything out, clean the cage thoroughly. We use white vinegar and water, which is great disinfectant, and it cleans good.
And cheap.
And yes, and cheap. And just just keep everything clean.
Yeah.
We do trim their nails. Will trim their nails
And
for
you're right.
you.
If you buy, yeah.
If you
just
buy
bring
the
it in,
guinea pig
we'll trim
here,
the nails,
we'll trim
right.
the nails.
We have a full manicure service, don't
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And so this is important. The bedding, which is a huge deal, folks. So we use Carefresh.
Yes, we do.
Which we always have the best price in the history of the world,
Yep.
by the way. We buy pallets at a time of Carefresh.
Yes.
But we like it. There's no coloring in it.
Nope.
It's soft on their feet.
Yep.
They can't.
And it's very absorbent.
Right.
I recommend the Carefresh to all our customers too because it's the best.
Yeah.
It's kind of expensive, but it is the best. It's the most absorbent.
Right.
Otherwise, if you use like wood shavings or something like that,
You're going through.
and it
Right.
gets very
and it's
soggy.
dusty. It's not
Yeah.
good for them.
And it smells bad.
Right. And it's not that this is antibacterial, but you have more chances of bacteria growing in the
Yes.
pine or the
Yes.
cedar, right?
No pine, no cedar. Cedar's actually toxic.
Ah, that's why I said that.
Yeah, it's toxic to actually all the small animals, birds, anything. So yeah, and pine, I don't recommend pine because it's not toxic to them, but
Yep.
it can be sticky.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So is it better to have one guinea pig or two?
You can have two as long as you get two females or two males. Sometimes two males, one likes to be dominant.
Yeah.
Two females, not so bad, but don't mix them.
Why?
Oh, well, you will have babies and babies and babies because they breed.
So if
Hi, it's okay.
stupid question. This is one of the ones that the hair goes every which way, right?
Yeah, little Mohawk girl.
Little Mohawk girl. So if you bred her with a male that has regular hair, is the male, dominant or the female dominant or?
Actually, that's a good question. It would be interesting to see. I don't really know.
Right, because I wonder if you have to breed it with it. What do they call? What's that hairstyle that they call? Not a hairstyle, but where they go all different ways.
Abyssinian.
Yeah.
Yep, these are little Abyssinians.
Right, and then of course if you have them separated, to be Abstinians.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
And it's
Thank you. When you bring in a crew of writers from New York, that you get this is the quality material that you get. Well, wave goodbye. See if you can. Do they have a little- wave goodbye.
She's getting restless.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Whee! Yaha! Hi, fellas. What's up?